Hello, how you doing? I'm Steve. I get to be your professor for this course. So Steve Jordan's. I've taught intro psych here quite a bit. You may have also seen me in various other spots, but I have the privilege of being your course instructor for the summer 2022. And the idea of this video is to introduce you to the course really and walk through the syllabus with you. So I've been enjoying to join. Sure, I'll accept that. Sorry, just take that away. And so here's where I'm going to start, which is in Quarkus. So when you log into Quarkus, of course, you will see tiles associated with the various courses you're enrolled in. One of them will be, where'd it go? Hey, yeah, she had a really nice, okay, yeah, nope. Nope. Here it is. Nope. Here it is. Okay, this is what it'll look like on yours. So it's not yet published yet. It's in my unpublished courses, but you'll see this 2022 Summer PsyA01. And when you click into that, you will be in our main course page. And there's going to be a bunch of stuff here. And you see there already is some stuff here. And I'm going to talk about, I'll kind of hit on some of these things as we go. But this page will continue to take shape. And the very first thing I want to say to you is when we get to the announcements for these, so right now there is none. Of course, the course, I should let you know I'm recording this on Friday. The course is live on Monday, so we're just getting everything set up. On Monday, you will start seeing the announcements come through. Keep an eye on these announcements. In fact, I would suggest to you that you consider downloading the Canvas app. So Quarkus is really Canvas. Quarkus is a U of T name, but the real name of the product is called Canvas. So you can download the Canvas app and you can have notifications sent to you when announcements are posted. And I think that's a really good idea in the case of this course, especially in the summer when we're doing this as a fully online course. This is our way of making sure you know what's going on. And if we have to communicate with the class, and the announcements is our standard approach. So being, plugged into those, seeing them as they come, will really make sure that, you don't miss a deadline or et cetera. Now, as I say that, I'll also mention that Ainsley, who's helping me with this course and organizing it, is extremely organized. So with respect to deadlines, for example, there's a thing here that will just lay out all the deadlines. And so, you shouldn't ever miss a deadline. It should be all clear. Okay, what we're going to do today is mostly focus on the syllabus for the course, and just kind of walking through it and making sure you kind of understand how the course will kind of unfold and how grades will be calculated, what you'll be asked to do along the way. So this will give you a really good sense of, is this a course for you? Okay, so I'm going to click on the syllabus. And that'll just open it up right here within Quarkus. You can also download it if you want to download it. All right. Drum roll. All right, there we are. Okay. Maybe even make this a little bigger. Sure. That's fine. Just want to make sure you can read it all well. However, if I did it this way, then you could read more of it. Yeah, I think this is fine. I hope this is fine for your visibility wise. So welcome to the course. That's me over there. And here's my, this is the course email, okay? This is the email we want you to use, first of all. If you want to get in touch with us for any reason, please use this email. That will actually go to Ainsley. So Ainsley, she's listed here as the undergraduate program administrator. There will also be a new course coordinator that's going to be hired over the summer. So there's going to be another face, but we don't know who that face is yet. So right now you got me and Ains. I do all the course content stuff. All right. So I teach you all about psychology, intro psych. And when you have any questions about what you're learning, then I'm the one that answers those questions. But if you have questions about the course itself, anything about grades or assignments or when due dates or anything like that, anything administrative, that will be Ainsley or potentially this course coordinator when we have them. So here's the point though. When you email that, then your email is directed appropriately. And if it comes to me, they don't just send me the email, they make sure I answer it. So if I don't answer it, they're like, hey, you haven't answered this email yet. And that's really important. If you email me directly, and you can find my email address easily, if you email me directly, there's a chance that if I don't answer it right away because I'm crazy busy, that I forget. And nobody will remind me to answer unless you do, unless you write back. So that's why we'd rather you don't email me directly. We also find that people email me asking me questions that they should be asking Ainsley. So it's really better to kind of start here and let Ainsley kind of direct it as appropriate. Okay, cool. Office hours. I will be having office hours in this course, as you see here, Mondays 10 to 11 a.m. and Thursdays 4 to 5 p.m. The hope here is I know some of you are taking this course from various parts of the world, so I can't serve every time zone, but this hopefully allows you to find a time zone that works reasonably well for you, at least, because these are so far apart. I'm hoping one or the other will work for most people. These are just drop in, and I'm going to tell you, they're fun. I think they're fun, and I think students think they're fun. What tends to happen is students show up, and we always start by saying, who's got course-related questions? Anybody who's got anything related to the course, we start with that. But invariably, we kind of answer those things, and then we devolve into, anybody got any questions about anything related to psychology? And everything is related to psychology. So we talk about current events, we talk about movies people have watched, maybe how psychological things are portrayed in movies, like memory or attention or something like that. And it tends to be a really enjoyable chance to just chat about psychology in a fun kind of way. When you come to these meetings, I get to know who you are a little bit. And, someday you might need a letter of reference from a professor. These are the ways to kind of start doing that, to show up at these meetings, to turn your camera on, to participate, ask a question now and then, join a conversation. Let me see you thinking. Let me see you putting ideas into words. Those are the sorts of things, if I write a reference letter, they want me to talk about. So come out and show me. Show me you're an interested intellectual student who enjoys talking about academic kind of stuff. And just know that you're welcome. Nothing intimidating in my office hours. So at any rate, they're just a Zoom meeting. It's always this link. So just click on that link and I will be on the other side. And we'll go from there. Cool. Excellent. The first office hour, by the way, will probably be the Thursday of next week. So the course officially starts on Monday, but I won't have an office hour then because probably none of you will even know it exists. But Thursday 4 to 5 of the first week I'll be there, and then every week thereafter we will have each of these office hours. Okay, and they're just drop in anytime. Okay. Contact, again, please use that email, right? And for course questions, what they advise here is that you consider coming to my office hours for course-related questions. And I think that's a great idea as well. Yep. Okay. My goodness. Okay. I should have shut some things down so they're going crazy while I'm recording. That's all right. Communication policy. You'll read this whole communication policy. I just kind of described this to you. I said, keep an eye on the announcements and then what to do when you have various questions. So check that out. I'm going to focus more on this kind of stuff. So general course information. This is the first part of a two-part course. So this one we call the Introduction to Biological and Cognitive Psychology, but it's the first part of our Intro Psychology pair of courses, and they both use the same textbook. So that's one of the things that's going to be good. This part one, we're going to talk about things like the history of psychology. We're going to introduce you to the scientific process, how it works. We're going to talk a little bit about evolution in the context of human behavior. I say here brain structure, neuroscience, basic sensory processes, perceptual processes, memory, consciousness. I think we even get into language by the time we're done here. So a bunch of cool topics that we're going to be just sort of covering as we go through the chapters. This course is a survey course, and what that means is we give you a taste of psychology. Like, psychology is a very broad topic, and it's done in many different ways. Every chapter is almost a different approach to sometimes a slightly different issue. And so you're going to come across a ton of different things that psychologists study and a ton of different ways that they study it. What makes these courses hard is not the complexity. There's nothing in this course that'll make you go, oh, well, I shouldn't say nothing. There might be some things that are hard to think through, but most of it's pretty straightforward. What makes it hard is there's a lot of stuff to learn. And that's just how survey courses are. We're giving you a taste of a whole bunch of stuff. And the challenge of this course will be trying to learn that stuff and remember it. Okay, and that's true of every survey course. I will, along the way, give you some tips and suggestions about how to do that well. Okay, and that'll be part of what will kind of unfold as we go through. The textbook is kind of a different beast in this course. Let me just flip over here for a second because I'm working on the textbook here. I'm adding some stuff to it. So it's just to give you a sense of it. This is chapter 1. Chapter 1 of the textbook. So it's within Top Hat, and I'm at the Top Hat site here. It looks like a textbook, except weird things will happen along the way, like this. This is a lecture of mine, and if I press play here, maybe it won't play because I'm in edit mode right now. Okay, so I'm in edit mode and it won't work. I should save, by the way, because I've done a bunch of work. Suddenly got worried as I'm starting to click on things. So what it allows me to do is put the lectures right within the textbook so that what you can do is just kind of read along, and as you read, you'll come across lectures. You'll also come across these things, these assessment questions. Top Hat really uses assessments a lot, and they give you retrieval practice. Often when students think about learning something, they think about getting it into their head. How am I going to, so that we repeat something 5 times over and over to try to get it into our head, or what we're going to call encode that information. But just as important for memory is trying to get it out of your head. And to practice retrieving, these questions give you what we call retrieval practice. You will just watch a lecture, and then I'm going to ask you something about the lectures, and you'll get the chance to say, oh yeah, I remember what that was. And so these are great ways of testing your understanding of what you just read, and sometimes they will tell you didn't understand it, and so you go back and check it out again, and they will also give you that retrieval practice. So as we go through the textbook, you'll see there's readings, and then hey, there's a question. Readings, another question. Readings, more questions. Oh, here's a lecture from Steve with a question. More readings, pictures, nice little stuff. Readings, oh, look at this. We got a nice spinning little head. Okay, so you get a little bit of the idea. This is going to be a more interactive way to interact with the material. By literally reading and then watching and then answering questions, and students find that they really like it. And again, it allows me to kind of embed the lectures directly within the textbook, and so that your task is simply to, as far as the content of the course, simply to go through this as we go. Okay, so let me flip back. Where am I? Where am I? Oh, was I supposed to accept that thing? I don't know. Okay, so that's the textbook. Now there's a whole bunch of information about getting access to this textbook. So check that out. And notice also, when we do this course, we're going to do 1, 2, 3, skipping 4, and then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we're going to do 8 chapters, but we're going to skip number 4. That's because number 4 is developmental psychology, and the guy that teaches the other half of this course, Kyle Danielson, that's his thing. And so we really like, if it's your thing, you should be teaching it. And so that module appears in the other course, PsyA02, but we're going to cover these modules as we go through. The really cool thing is, if you get this textbook, it covers both courses, and it's not as expensive as a real textbook to begin with, and you can use it for both of those courses. So that's really cool. Okay, lectures you already got a taste of. They're going to be embedded directly within the textbook as you read. I'll probably also have them available in Quarkus. We'll probably have another section where we just upload all the lectures independent of Top Hat. So if anybody wants the lectures that way, we can do that. But you get the sense. You can go through, read, watch, etc. This approach has been one that students have really liked. Now, one other thing I'll mention about the lectures, and I actually mention it in a lecture. I go through this in a lot of detail in the lecture, but the lectures within the textbook are not 1 hour lectures. They tend to be 20 minutes, something like that. Some are as long as 30 minutes that I've been doing. Some are as short as 10 or 12 minutes. And so they're small little lectures that you'll get along the way. Okay, cool. Learning outcomes. These are the things we hope you'll learn. So check those out. That's all good. This is the part most students care about. How am I going to be evaluated? So if we sort of start at the bottom, there's going to be a final and a midterm. These are now, we've decided, going to be fully online. They will be speeded questions. So I will post a video where I talk to you about exactly how things will go down and why we're doing things the way we are. So we'll talk about that in general. But this is, as you see here, this is 70% of your grade are those two exams, the midterm and the final. The other things are things you will do along the way. Some of these, you see these two that are called modules. These are quick little online things that you'll do that will be very easy. If you just do what you're asked to do, you'll get that 1% very easily. The first one will teach you about academic integrity, just so you know, and we know you know, what plagiarism is, what cheating is, etc. This one will be about psychological addictions, and specifically it'll be about video game addiction. And so this is going to be an example I use to kind of make you understand the power of addictions. And again, it's just a matter of watching and answering some questions, but you'll learn a lot going through that. Okay. As you go through the textbook, remember I showed you all those assessments. You are expected to do those assessments. 6% top hat participation. Notice the word participation. It's not about how accurate you are, so you don't have to worry about getting every answer right. In fact, the best way to do things is to pick the answer you think is right at the time and to find out if you're wrong. And so you're not penalized for doing that, but we do want you to answer every question. And I think at the end of every pair of chapters, there's a due date to make sure you have answered all those questions from those 2 chapters by that due date. And that's our way of trying to help you stay on top of things, always knowing, I got to get through those next 2 chapters so I can get my top hat things done because it's worth 6%. And so this is intended to help you keep up with your readings and go through things. Okay. Now that leaves us 3 things: Peer Scholar, Work Integrated Learning, and SONA. Let me start with SONA. The SONA is experimental credit. So as the term unfolds, there's a bunch of people doing research at U of T, and there's a system called SONA that you'll learn all about, and you can use that to find out about ongoing research and to sign up to participate in ongoing research. You can earn grades by doing so, up to 3%. So how this actually works is it's like 1% per hour you spend participating in research. And so this essentially says you have to spend 3 hours to get these 3%. Now, some experiments are just half an hour experiments. So you might have to do like 6 of those. Some of them are an hour. Some of them are 2 hours. So you can mix and match. You do a 2-hour experiment and 2 30-minute experiments, you got your 3%. However you want to get there. But these experiments will become available through the term. You can take a look at them. You can decide which ones to sign up for, and you can get that 3%. Cool. Okay. Let me jump up to the Peer Scholar assignment. Many of you have probably run into Peer Scholar before. It's my baby. It's an ed tech that we created in my lab. Very proud of it. It's now used in 10 countries. It's really cool. So you will be doing an assignment that will involve you going to what we call original sources, going to research articles, and trying to summarize what's in that article and then talk about what you would do next if you were the researchers, what we call the next step. So this is to just kind of begin teaching you how to digest a raw scientific article. And you will also, by the way, once you create your summary and next step, you'll then go into a round of peer assessment where you actually give feedback to some of your peers about their work. And then in a third phase, you'll get feedback from them. And you'll be allowed to use that feedback to improve your work before the professor sees it. And so it's an approach we use called formative peer assessment. It's one that really helps develop your critical thinking and creative thinking skills, your communication, collaboration skills. That's the purpose of this. It's a challenging assignment, I will tell you. This is one of the ones students find challenging, but there's a lot of cool stuff going on here. And then finally, there's a work integrated learning activity. And I say finally because this will occur near the end of the class. This will be a teamwork activity. We won't force you to work in teams, but we're going to highly encourage you to work in teams. So the idea would be you would work with 3 other people to create what we call public service announcements in support of a local or an organization. In this case, it's going to be an organization called Swab the World. Check them out online. You will learn so much more about this as the course continues. This is much more near the end of the course. And in fact, for all of these things, you can get some additional information here about what all of those things are and how things work. But really, the way things will really work is as they loom. As that next thing looms, we'll give you a whole lot more information to make you comfortable about what you're being expected to do and how it works. So you're getting a taste now, but again, we'll unveil these things a lot more as we go. But in the meantime, check out these things, and if you have any questions about them, bring them to Thursday office hours. We can talk about any of this stuff on Thursday office hours. Note, by the way, when you get to the exams, the final exam is cumulative. I'm a firm believer in cumulative exams. By the end of the course, I expect you to know the whole course, not just the last half. So you'll be tested on the whole course. Again, you'll have just a certain amount of time to answer each question. You won't be able to go back, all of those things. I will justify all that for you. I will tell you why we do things the way we do, and we'll go from there. There's a lot of other information here about missed work, if you miss a deadline, accommodation kind of stuff, technical issues. I really recommend you read all of this. It's all personally relevant. It's all relevant, to you as you go through, and this is our way of making sure you understand the rules of the game, so to speak. This document kind of says this is how we're running the course, and this is what we expect you. These are the rules we'll be kind of working with. So read them all through and make sure you're cool with them. So what I recommend is, read through this, explore the Quirkus page a little bit, but mostly kind of just wait till you start seeing announcements. You can start reading, by the way, as soon as you get access to Top Hat. Start reading chapter 1, and we're just going to go in order from chapter 1. So do that, start reading, come to office hours. I highly recommend that. And then watch out for announcements, because we will be continually reaching out to you through announcements and things like that. Okay, so that was kind of a quick syllabus go through, but I think that's enough to get you started. And as we do things, it'll just become, you'll get very comfortable with all of this stuff, and it's a fun course. You're going to enjoy it, and I'm going to enjoy teaching you, and I'm going to enjoy chatting with you during office hours. So I look forward to that. Until then, have a great one. I'll see you later.